dynamic exercise, or dynamic effort exercise, the purpose here is to practice speed and power. You're practicing explosion and power. You're going to do 8 to 12 sets of 2 to 3 repetitions. These are generally waves from 50 to 60% of your 1 rep maximum. So one week 1 you might be doing 50%. Week 2 you might be doing 53%. Week 3 you might be doing 56%, and then in week 4 you do 60%. And then week 5 you probably bump it back down to 50% and start that whole thing up again. For dynamic effort squat work, you're going to be using a box set up in about parallel. You might use bands or chains here because the weight's going to be at 50 to 60% of your 1 rep maximum. As you drive from the bottom and at the very end, the bar will have a tendency to move on your back. So in order to allow you to drive the weights up with maximal power, having those bands and those chains on there is kind of a dampener is not a bad idea. It will force you to be tight throughout the movement as well. I'm not using any added resistance today. If I were, I might lower the weight a little bit. For this, I'm going to do two reps. I'm going to try to make these reps speedy throughout while maintaining form. Now I would do about 10 sets of that, and I would reduce my rest periods to about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. If I'm working with someone else, it would be I go, he goes, and we would rotate in and out of this exercise. But the purpose is to develop power, so each rep needs to be as powerful as possible. Supplemental exercises for the squat and deadlift are going to consist of a lot of posterior chain work, like the glute ham bench, reverse hypers, pull-throughs, hyperextensions, one-legged deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, Dimmel deadlifts, CV deadlifts, etc. A lot of these exercises we've described in other squat rexes. You'll also do ab work, including weighted sit-ups, plank, ab wheel, ab pull-down, side bends, leg lifts. Most of these things would be done weighted. Again, we've described most of these in a previous squat rex. For bench press, you're going to be focusing in your supplemental work, you're going to be focusing on tricep work, which will include things like pushdowns, JM press, close grip bench press, dumbbell extensions, lat work, which will include barbell rows, dumbbell rows, cable rows, chins, pull downs, and shoulder work, which will include a lot of posterior delt work, such as bent over laterals, rotator cuff, laterals, shoulder presses. So a weekly schedule for these would be session 1, a maximum effort squat workout. Again, you would start with a maximum effort exercise, and then you would work in your supplementals. Session 2, you would do a max effort exercise for bench press, and then you would follow that with supplementals. Session 3, you do a dynamic effort exercise for squat, and then you follow it with supplementals. Session 4, you do a dynamic effort exercise for bench press, and you'd follow that with supplementals. Now, for a lot of people, this is going to be a difficult transition to make into Westside because it's not centered around body parts like most people are used to. Most people are used to a bodybuilding type of split where you're doing upper lower, maybe you're doing arms and shoulders on one day, maybe you're doing chest and back on the other. This is centered around the big three, meaning squat, bench, and deadlift. There's going to be 2 workouts with a squat deadlift focus and 2 workouts with a bench press focus. Again, one of those workouts is focused on power, and one workout is focused on moving maximal weight. For more information, you're going to want to visit www.elitefitness.com. This is a great website. There's great people there. They have a Q&A section at their site that they'll be happy to answer questions for you. They have tons of articles there. Definitely do your homework, and I guarantee you're going to be happy with the results you'll find from Westside.